Welcome to Home Junkie. Today we're going to be making one of these little pouch purses. So you're going to be needing a front and back and the sides. And you'll need also the lining as well in those shapes. So first off, we'll get the wadding. I use a compressed wadding. And I just find that's a lot easier and it gives it a bit of cushion and stability towards for the bag. So we're going to be marking out the diagonal lines, and if you've got a cutting board like me, what I do is I line it up to the line, so that gives me a bit of a guide, so I know I'm going diagonal and not skew-if. I'm doing the lines approximately 2 centimeters apart. And once I've done the one way, just turn it around and I'll do it the other way. So I'm just using a normal chalk for sewing. As you can see, I'm marking up the points there, so make sure that it is diagonal. And again, 2 centimeters width. There we go. So do the same, exactly the same with the other one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew down each line, turn it around and do exactly the same. So I use a top stitch for this, top stitch thread for this. It just gives it a bit more depth to it and everything. Once you've done that, I didn't show you, but if you give it a good iron, that'll flatten all out nicely. Now we're moving to the outer of the bag, the sides, and what we're going to do is we're going to be making a little hole for where the leather straps are going to go. So I'm pinning a bit of fabric just on the edges, and that's just a guide so I know where to mark it, and do exactly the same on the other side. And then what we're going to do is sew a little rectangle on both sides. And there we go. So now we're going to do snip the holes out. So what I do is I get a little Stanley knife, cut it out, and then snip it out. Then we're going to push the fabric right through. And pull it tight, and we're going to give it a good iron just to flatten all the edges down. It can be a little bit fiddly, but just take your time, give it a good press. Once you're happy, turn it over and a press, and then do exactly the same for the other side. There we go, all done. Okay, so now we're going to do the vinyl strap. You can use leather or vinyl, whatever you want to. Again, this is my design. You don't have to put a strap around the edge, but I think it gives it a bit of depth. So measure the strap so you've got enough for it to tuck underneath, about 1/4 of an inch either side. And what I do here is I use a bit of double-sided tape. This just helps keep it in place before I sew it. and it just helps to stop moving as I'm sewing it, so it's all nice and straight. So position it in place. Once you're happy, just press it down, just tuck it in, bend it over, and pop a clip there. That will just hold the ends in place. And then what you want to do is sew round along there and along there. I use a top stitch thread for it, and that's the finished look. Now I do exactly the same for the tabs and give it a sew round, so it just finishes it off and neatens it all up and it's all matching. So these tabs are approximately 3.5 inches long. I just do a little bit extra just for comfort. So slot it in, and you want to be sewing it just along there. So as you can see, then slide the D-ring, push it through, and you want to pull it tight. And then you want to sew it there. Give it a couple of rows of sewing just to reinforce it, and do exactly the same on the other side. So once that's done, I then make a hole and pop the rivets through. And that'll just secure the tab. I use the green machine. It comes with lots of attachments and everything, which is a godsend for my hands. And it's so easy to use. If you want the link, I'll leave it at the end of the video for you in the comments. And there we go. So that's that done. Now you're going to be doing the lining. So I just cut a square out. It's easier to do it like this than having it already cut out. And what you want to do, and just give it a pin in place, and you want to sew all the way around and leave quite a large gap, and don't sew that bit. So once that's done, we're going to snip around the excess fabric. I always leave the fabric a bit over, that helps to tuck it in nicely. So then you want to put it the right way. It's a little bit fiddly, but it's not too bad. And then I use a long paintbrush. You can use whatever you like, just to tuck round and push out all the corners. And do the same for the other side. Now once that's done, you want to iron it out. So I use a bit of steam and just steam away, flatten it out. And there we go. Right, so now we're going to go back to the front and back panels and we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to sew round and leave a gap. And then cut out the excess fabric. Again, I leave the fabric where the opening is because it just helps tuck it in. Cut the corners and just snip round the circle bit. That just helps it to bend easy. And then turn it the right way around. Again, use whatever you like to poke out the corners and just smooth it out. And then just give it a good iron. Once that's done, just run your sewing machine across the top just to close it up. Okay, so we've got the front and back there ready. And we need to mark the middle bit. So fold it over and just with the chalk, just mark it off so you've got the centre. And now you want to mark off 4 centimetres on either side because that's going to be turned inside the bag. Now get the outer, join the middle up together and you start pinning it round. I use the clips, it's a lot easier than the needles, the pins, and just clip all the way around. So it's going to look like this. Now what you want to do is go and sew all the way around there. So it looks like that. And then you're going to do the other side. So again, find the middle and start pinning round. So that's what it'll look like. And then again, sew all the way around. So now that you've done all that, you want to turn it the right way round. Just push on all the corners, fiddle about, and there you go. So the next step is you will want to be going around all the edges. So I'm just going to pin it just to hold it in place. And you want to sew all the way around the edges just to finish the bag off. So now that's done, now we're going to be doing the grommets or eyelets. Some people call it grommets, I call them eyelets. These are 12mm eyelets. And I'm just going to mark them in place. So again, I get some chalk and we're going to do 4 on the one side and 4 on the other. Roughly about 5 centimetres from centre of circle to centre of circle. And then you're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to use a 12 mil grommet, and for this I've got a little tool to attach to the green machine, and it's a cutting tool to use with the grommet. This will make the hole to insert the grommet in. So you just line it up and press down. You can get handheld ones as well, but if you're anything like me, I can't. I haven't got any physical strength in my hands, so this is ideal for me. But you'll find your own comfort, whichever one you choose. So now you've got the holes. It's time to insert the grommets. So you've got a front and your back. And again, with my green machine, you can get the other tools uh, for the grommets to be inserted. They're not overly hard to use, just a bit of practice on a bit of scrap fabric first before you do, and you should be fine. So place the back bit, pop it underneath, and just press down. And that's that. So again, follow it through with the others until you've installed them all. Okay, so now that's all done. We're going to be doing the cord, the braided cord to go through the grommets. So I triple up the cord. It's about 34 inches long. I do a little bit longer just for comfort. Tie a knot in the one side with the three together, and then use a nice weight, which the green machine is perfect for, and braid it. So you go all the way to the end. And then I use a bit of masking tape or any tape, just wrap the end just to hold it together. And there we go. So once that's done, you want to start threading it through. So go in through the first, out through the second, and so on. And then wrap it around the bag and in, out, in, out. So that's what it's going to look like. And then we need to do the little toggle to hold them in place. So just get a bit of vinyl or some fabric, whichever you want to use, and make the toggle. So it's approximately 3.5 inches long. That's for comfort. So it wraps round, and you're able to sew down the middle a couple of times just to secure it. Once that's done, insert. So I'm just measuring to see how far I should take it through, whether it's tight or not. And then what you want to do is tie the ends individually, pull it tight. You can have them however long you want. and then I just snip the ends off and use a lighter just to burn, just to fix it in place. And do the same for the other tassel. Okay, so that bit's done. You can use cord, you can make a fabric cord. It's entirely up to you. For this design, I've used some piping cord and braided it. But it's your choice. It'll be your design. So we're going to do the handle now. This is 12 inches long. And what I like to do is just mark the holes where the rivets are going to go. And then fold an inch in. That allows for the D-ring and for it to sit comfortably. Just hold it in place. And then we're going to punch some holes where you've marked it. So with this, I'm using the hand puncher. That's a great little tool. And then we're just going to push it through the D-ring and pop some rivets in. I'm using 8mm rivets. That just gives it a bit of comfort, bit of width to it. Snap the backs on, and then again use the green machine if you have one. And just to push them down into place. And there we go, that's your little pouch purse complete. How cute is that? So it's entirely up to you what sort of fabric you use. Again, here's the green one that I've just done, and then a tapestry one, a denim one. Hope you've enjoyed the video and thanks for watching.